Hey flower friends, Dennis here with FiftyFlowers, and today we are talking all about rose petals. Whether it's a flower girl tossing the petals down the aisle before the bride makes her debut, or lush rows of petals going down for the bride to walk through, rose petals can really add class to your event. So one of the biggest questions we get is how many rose petals do I need for my aisle? So FiftyFlowers makes it very easy. So all of the rose petals come in a pre-packaged container like this. It's a plastic bag that's aerated to make sure it has airflow. It can easily go in the refrigerator. It arrived refrigerated, so they were nice, crisp, and fresh. And each one of these bags, which this is one bag that you see here, is meant for 180 square inches. So if you think about that in square feet, 12 by 12, a square foot would be 144 inches. Each one of these bags is more than a square foot. On our website too, you'll see that it's estimated for 20 inches by 9 inches for one bag. So what does that look like realistically for an aisle? This cardboard cutout right here is 20 inches by 9 inches. So this will be 180 square inches. So putting that down, say this is on one side of the aisle. Here's the one bag that we have pre-portioned, which will cover 180 inches, put on top of this cardboard piece here. We'll empty the whole bag. Zhuzh it up so it's to size here. And this is a very lush filling. So I can't see that cardboard underneath it at all. It is very filled and very lush. We'll get a closer look at this here. And as you can see, this is a very full section of what your aisle could look like with these petals. So again, this is one package covering 180 square inches. So say this is the lushness that you want for your aisle runner. So to calculate this, let's say we have a 30-foot aisle on each side. So first we would take 30 times that in inches, so that's 30 times 12, which becomes 360. And so that we know we have 360 inches on one side from the start of the aisle to the end. We know this covers 20 inches, as we said, 20 by 9. So we'll have a 9-inch width down the whole aisle, and then so 20 within that 360 will be 18 times. So for each side to have this lushness here from a 30-foot aisle, we would want 18 bags on each side for a total of 36. But we don't necessarily need it to be this thick. Like I said, this is very lush. It's definitely going to make a statement. But what we could do is spread this out a little bit thinner. So let's take a look at what this would look like if we doubled the length, so say 40 inches with the same bag of petals. Now for this demonstration purposes, we have another piece of card, but instead this time it is double the length, so 40 inches by 9 inches. So using the same proportion bag of rose petals here, we'll dump this out here so we can see how this covers. And I'm just going to spread it out using all of these beautiful buttercream petals that were supplied, covering the cardboard. And as we'll show closer here, you can see that this is still fully covered, just a little bit lower, less lush than before, but still has an amazing impact just from that one bag of pre-proportioned rose petals. So again, now this is covering 40 by 9, so 360 inches, double the original. So a little bit less lush, but still full coverage for your aisle. So zooming in here, we have double the length. You can see a little bit of the cardboard, but again, this is perfectly covered for that aisle, double the length. And so in a situation like this, if the aisle were 30 feet long, you would need 18 bags in total, 9 on each side. Another big trend with rose petals down the aisle, instead of the linear lines going down each side, is to have an intricate design right down the middle. This will allow for when the bride walks through for her veil to pull on them and kind of change the design as she walks past. So the way to measure that, since we do have a more intricate aspect, is to use a string. And so this is a 9-foot string that I cut for the purposes of this demo, which is 108 inches. And we'll make just kind of a swirl design just for the purposes here. And again, this could be any design you want. Just make sure you have the length that you want cut out so that we can do the measurement. So for the purposes of this design, let's say we were going to go 10 inches wide. So we have 108 inches in length, 10 inches in width. That gives us a square area of 1,080 inches. And so we know that each of these bags contains 180 square inches within each of them. So 1,080 divided by 180 gives us 6 in total. So that would need 6 bags to cover this design, 10 inches wide, 9 feet wide with that swirl or whatever the design ends up being. So with that, you can calculate even designs or those lines going down the sides. Today we got to work with this beautiful, lush, buttercream yellow rose petal. But FiftyFlowers offers rose petals in different quantities, but also different colors. Anything from the classic white up to any sort of beautiful color that you might have as part of your color palette for your special day. FiftyFlowers also offers mixed bags of various colors within that same color palette for you to have a selection that works best for you. I hope this video helped explain how many rose petals you may need for your special day, and that you can help bring this extra element to your wedding.